A wonderful thing, and our special relationship with the animal kingdom has stood the test of time. The circle of life is glorious, impressive, majestic. But sometimes all creatures great and small need some help. From the wondrous whale to the tough tiger and the furry, fretting feline, beasts big and bijou all need a helping hand, paw or claw. In this selection of heartwarming tales, we'll show you some of nature's greatest escapes. Get your tissues at the ready and prepare to have your mind blown as we review this remarkable collection of 100 amazing animal rescues caught on camera. Rescuers will put themselves in extraordinary danger to help an animal in need, so hold tight for a white-knuckle ride. On water rapids, it rapidly becomes clear a helpless dog is terrifyingly stranded in a pickup truck that's bafflingly submerged in high-speed waters.
If that truck went loose, then it'd be
disaster.
It'd be bad for them. Oh, yikes.
The calm crisis unit evidently treats the extraordinary rescue like a walk in the park, seamlessly moving in to end this dog's bad day. Success! That's one pooch rescued. This next clip is like watching Bambi on ice, quite literally. Well, blow me, a visibly mind-boggling attempt to sweep a maroon deer off its frozen feet. Incredibly, the low-flying helicopter's blades whip up quite the storm and seem to shift the windswept animal from its icy prison. And the wildlife version of a hockey puck is swiftly moved from the glacial river. Next, the helping team endeavour to rehome a second deer. They've gone for a slightly more old-fashioned rescue route, using a sturdy rope and powerfully tugging it to safety. It's a victory, as the warm-hearted helpers heave the frozen-legged animal up. Did you know that hummingbirds are the only bird that can fly backwards? Well, maybe this one couldn't see where he was going, as he is obviously exhausted and has somehow strayed into suburban digs. Can a noble homeowner just bring this once buzzing bird back to life with this mysterious concoction? Whoa, someone's awake. What is in that syringe?
Some water and sugar.
It sure looks like it's having the effect of one too many cocktails during happy hour. But hurrah! The flapping hummingbird is back to singing a familiar tune as it looks fully recovered. Although attached to its hero, possibly waiting to have one more for the road. Time to dig deep. It's a sad sight as mother and child are literally in the pits. I'm sure he means well, but honestly, that's not going to lift 10 tons of elephant out of a hole. Ah, a much cleverer plan. Dig a path to freedom. Will they give up? Not on your Nelly. Yet the masterful plan is a hit, the wildlife free. As the saying goes, an elephant never forgets. Yet ironically, they've both forgotten to say thanks. Charming. These next rescuers are not monkeying around. A troubling vision as work is underway to release a baby langur, distressingly entwined in a rough net. This is quite the monkey puzzle, and the rescue isn't over until the smothering net is clipped away. But with such a jagged-looking knife in use, can the men take dutiful care and not injure the squealing langur further? It's a yes from me, as the little animal is thankfully let loose and can get back to some monkey business. Next up, why did the anteater cross the road?
Come on, little bro.
A prickly situation for this echidna, I kid you not. It's seemingly taken a sharp right the wrong way, risking life and Spike being in the middle of the road. Can this be resolved at speed?
I can't pick him up.
The camera captures the panic felt by this bloke from the bike as he desperately tries to usher this now literal thorn in his side out of harm's way. A hairy, or rather prickly moment, but fortunately the tiny creature looks sharp and escapes the rat race. Whale, this next clip may make you happy cry. A gargantuan whale snatched from the seabed by an unforgiving fishing net seems desperate for help. Yet unleashing this humpback is an equally gargantuan task. Quickly, a no-nonsense mariner moves in to end this titanic drama. It could be treacherous, though. The moment of truth? Bravo, me hearties! Everyone is relieved. And the wonderful whale is shipshape. Next up, this duckling's got itself in a right flap. Quite the quacker's affair now, as a do-gooder is seen as no good by an unimpressed mother duck as he tries to release one of her daft ducklings from some kind of waterside entanglement. Duck! Here Mum comes again. This is turning a tricky rescue into a slightly worrying scenario for the man on the rocks. As this unwelcome hero scooches on top of that slippery stone, it may be wise to call time on this recovery.
Do you want a pocket knife?
Yes.
Now we're talking. And with a few gentle snips. Hurrah! The gutsy guy releases the lucky ducky. Now, no matter where in the world you are, there's a helping hand just around the corner. Well, something needs a elk, as a large distressed moose in Russia is locked in quite the sticky mesh. The man in his jazzy tracksuit gives us quite the view as he gets up close and personal. With sharp shears seemingly in sight, this is going to be quite the balancing act to undo this elk's bad job. Can Tractor Tom set this wild one free? Seems tricky. I wouldn't put any rubles on it. With a few final precise incisions, this game of Russian roulette thankfully draws to a close, as the elk is now successfully cut from its wire enclosure and happily trots off. That's it for our first batch of animal antics. Coming up, we've got even more amazing animal rescues caught on camera. Ever wondered what you would do if you saw an animal in trouble? Would you step up and help a doggy in danger? A cat facing catastrophe? A jaguar in jeopardy? A horse in hijinks? A penguin in peril? I could go on. But instead, let's continue the review of our 100 greatest animal rescues and take some inspiration from the brave people who were more than happy to step up to the mark. Real drama, as a helpless mother looks hopeless as her baby elephant may have made an error in falling into a deep hole. They'll need a miracle to solve this puzzle. Or a helicopter? This is either an electrifying rescue attempt or a callous tourist trip on a safari spin. With the helicopter parent and child under the intensity of the chopper's blades, this now looks like a blockbuster action movie scene. Hopefully now, with Big Mama lured away by the copter, the no-nonsense freedom fighters make hay so they can get in and get the animal out. The hefty calf's world is turned upside down in a matter of seconds. Triumph! Hasta la vista, hole! The fox in this next clip is going to need more than his cunning to set him free.
I'm like, yeah, you're nice and big.
This next scene may be a case of rather him than me, as a have-a-go hero will literally have a go at releasing this feisty fox that scored an own goal by getting caught awkwardly in garden netting. It looks like this net is having a cub sandwich, as it's so tightly wrapped around the struggling youngster. The pliers are out. Yikes! The tricky clipping begins. Can the intrepid chap outfox the fox and keep his cool until the release is complete?
See your neck. Ow, yes, that really hurt.
Honestly, kids today, so ungrateful.
Why don't you, Mum? Go on.
Freedom, that's one fantastic Mr. Fox. Now for a dog that's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Strange whimpering coming inexplicably from a pile of abandoned rocks. The discovery of a forlorn and totally trapped dog exacerbates an already depressing scene. This impromptu Good Samaritan must have nerves of steel. That dog is literally like a caged animal, and there must be a worry that he'd turn on his rescuer. This is nail-biting stuff even just watching. Bit early for a round of applause, even if he is a captive audience. Maybe it's a distraction technique. He's certainly looking calmer. Oh, not your normal Kendall mint cake survival kit, but an onion ring snack instead. Interesting. Thankfully, and seemingly less hangry, the now placid dog is freed and straight into the arms of his caring rescuer, along with those onion rings. This next clip proves that animal rescues are certainly no walk in the park, or in this case, stroll along the beach. A flapping shark that's come too close to shore is now sorrowfully stranded. Are these watchful bystanders actually going to intervene and offer much-needed assistance to the breathless creature? But lest we forget, this is a terrifying shark. However, this is a maritime emergency. Something special is happening now. One onlooker gets involved in this fishy tale, having figured out the less terrifying end of the dangerous animal to tackle. He's knee-deep. Here's hoping he won't be rolling in the deep if the shark attacks. It's crunch time, but ideally not that sort of crunch. Will these two hammer out the situation? Yay! Victory! That's a C+ for effort there from the helpful liberator as the shark has taken the bait. This clip will be sure to give you goosebumps and send a shiver down your spine. Our next animal rescuer is skating on thin ice, literally, as he tries to save a beloved pet that's unexpectedly fallen into a freezing lake. Please do not try this at home, as only highly trained professional rescuers and no one else should attempt to rescue like this. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but my goodness, would it be handy for this dog to suddenly know how to ice skate to speed this frosty exit up?
Hardball, fast!
Undoubtedly, the undaunted man wants to end this canine's misery, and good dog, the chilly operation is complete. If you wanted proof that animals are loved the world over, let's go to Holland for an odd scene as a puzzled pony is caught up in a dingy lagoon. And the scene just got even more odd as a man in arguably equally dingy trunks stares blankly at the troubled animal. How is this peculiar situation going to end? Getting the helpless horse to higher ground will be tricky, and with it seemingly unclear whether the nag is trying to get to or get away from the man in his undercrackers. Well, this predicament just got weirder. The filmmaker adds an epic 80s soundtrack to this epic rescue, and Dutch Vladimir Putin lookalike moves in to end this drama. Can he pull this off? Job done. And the hot mess of a rescue is complete, and, the horse runs away from the man with a soggy bottom as quickly as it can. Next stop, America, for a rescue that will leave you wide-eyed with wonder. A stunned driver is abruptly stopped in his tracks.
We've got an owl in a snare.
As the big-eyed birdie is discovered at a stalemate with a pesky trap. Can the lads do this owl a solid and get it out of there? Twitter, oh! This wise old owl sure does look really quite scary. Hopefully the inquiring gent and his wingman can hatch a plan and get the animal out of its how do you do.
I'm going to throw it on it. Okay. And just
lobbing a jacket at it. Done the trick though and calmed the bird. Our view of the crucial untrapping moment is annoyingly obscured. Can they let it loose? And that's magic. The unshackled owl is as free as a bird. What a hoot that was. You know those families who move house to get their kids into a good school? Well, here's a mum who's taken things one step further. A mother duck and her brood seem to have wandered onto college grounds. I'm no professor, but they shouldn't be there. Can this concerned woman move the feathery freshman off campus? That was as easy as A, B, C, as the pint-sized pupils make the grade and start moving on. The proactive woman literally takes matters into her own hands and scoops up those hyper duckies.
How far's the river?
What the? She's going to throw them in the river. Oh, wait, they're ducks. That is actually the right thing to do. Finally, the little fluff balls are tipped out onto safer ground and off to join their mother duck. What a funny and fluffy little adventure that was. Now for a dog that certainly isn't chicken when it comes to helping out his feathered friends. Quite beyond belief. Is that a chicken with 2 heads? Well, an obedient dog is instructed to rescue a pair of frozen cluckers caught up in a stew. Will it be able to sniff out the awkwardly chick-to-chick duo? As the snow is ploughed, undoubtedly the frisky mutt will need to keep a cool head so the frosty fowl don't lose theirs.
Good boy.
This is looking promising, though.
Up here.
With a relieved cluck, that's one chook out of the deep freeze. What a good doggy. Time for a second helping as the cooperative canine impressively hatches the final chick out of its powdery prison. That rescue really was poultry in motion. Livestock can often get themselves stuck in sticky situations. Thankfully for our next animal, a brilliant man has come to the rescue. An unlucky sheep seems to have taken a disastrous dip in a muddy pit. Bleating heck! Can the assisting guy sort this muddle? It's an apparent case of after you, as this well-mannered gent isn't giving up on the really can't-be-bothered-looking sheep. Yet, with one last squishy move, huzzah! The heavyweight is freed. And without an ounce of looking sheepish, the mutton dressed as mud regains the use of its legs and plods off to its flock. In this next clip, we'll find out why they're called zebra and not horse crossings. A shocking scene compounded by the sad fact that this immobile horse slipped on a zebra crossing. Concerned witnesses must be desperate to help this beautiful creature. I hope it's okay. A moment of minor relief as the horse seems free from its concussion. Understandably dazed and confused, but thankfully it may now be in a stable condition. No time to hold their horses as this injured beauty needs help and fast. An animal this size needs a number of helping hands to make a move for safety. And thankfully taken off to recuperate. Nay worries. I bet the hawk in this next clip wishes she was as free as a bird. Sup here! An inquisitive cameraman watches this scene like a hawk as it becomes clear that a deadly snake has stung an unsuspecting hawk, constricting its body. Is this really a rescue? It looks more like game over to me. Or maybe not. Amazingly, the hushed hawk seems still alive. I'd say there's life in the old bird yet. A man with a loopy iron rod seems intent on getting in on this freakish fight. Just how can he prong the two apart? Can he decoil and foil this serpent's dinner plans? The pair are at such a awkward angle. Yet a stroke of genius, or shake, rather. The bird is broken free. Wow, with the hawk saved, that scuppered snake must be well hissed off. Next up, a trip down under for a matter of life or death. This is a distressing and frantic scene, as a quick-thinking firefighter battles to ensure one less animal is lost to this burning horror in the brittle Australian outback. Will it work?
I found a baby Joey in the fire.
A youthful emergency worker is like a knight in a shining orange jumpsuit, saving this wee one from potential death. Lil Joey seeks salvation in the rescuer's truck, with some fair dinkum coverage keeping him cosy. And perhaps a bowl of, marsupial he's eating up. This little beaut will be right. A remarkable rescue next that's a few acorns short of an oak tree. A worried mother squirrel attempts a break-in so she can break out her motionless baby that's been placed up on a deck by a good Samaritan. As the investigating squirrel plays the role of cat burglar, can it actually get away with the crime of the century and steal its own baby back? Sniffing out the competition that's secretly filming its zippy escapade, the fidgety furball gets a closer look at its cute kit. Time to go in for the save as the action mom literally wraps up the situation and impressively turns its baby into a walnut and squirrels away with the goods. So ends a rather nutty affair. The city can be a tough place for strays and runaways, but the following rescue goes to show that we're never far from a helping hand. a forlorn-looking cat is discovered sad and sullied, in immediate need of care on a New York street corner.
Cuts and scratches.
The understandably traumatised feline looks like it's had a rotten time in the Big Apple.
Some wet food.
Now fortunately attended to, can it just catch a break around this city? Thankfully, in a safe house, welcoming, soothing hands brush away the unseen stresses this alley cat's been through. Hopefully, its sorry tail seems to be coming to an end.
It's clear that he had
Are you looking at me? Yes, indeed I am, little puss. There may be a long road ahead to full recovery, but things are certainly looking up, and the now nurtured cat gets a chance at that fairy tale in New York happy ending. Now, have you ever wondered what could be lurking beneath your floorboards? This is either DIY gone horribly wrong, or there's something fishy underneath that suburban decking. Just what has caused such a costly commotion? You! That's what. The chippy chap carefully pulls out the guilty party, a baby skunk, which is quickly reunited with its accomplice. Aw, they're actually so stinking cute. But why on earth weren't they in the bosom of their musty ma? Speak of the devil. The mother returns to no doubt claim her brood back. The first pint-sized pongmobile is, lovingly dragged away by the matriarch. Closely followed by the second whiffy wee one. That's most definitely a slam dunk of skunks. Even though she's collected those babies, the mother skunk skulks around for another sniff. Smell you later! Now don't skunk off, instead hang around like a bad smell, because we've got even more amazing animal rescues coming right up. Are you feeling a little jaded? Do you need to take a breather from the 24-hour cycle of bad news? Well, if you are looking for something that will restore your faith in human nature, you are in the right place, as we continue our review of the 100 best animal rescues caught on camera. There are dedicated, caring people looking after wildlife across the globe, as this shocking clip demonstrates. On first impressions, it's a normal, noisy scene as a colony of sea lions relax without a care in the world. Apart from the fact that this man looks like he's set to shoot them.
I got him.
Seems the seafarer wanted simply to get the attention of this desperately injured seal that appears sadly up to its neck in some type of shocking, strangling fishing rope.
I don't even know how it's in there.
By somehow pressing a finger into the atrocious lesion, the horror of the animal's predicament is revealed.
Yeah, I just don't want it to...
The attending carer gently unravels the crippling rope, undoubtedly relieving its agony.
You're doing good, right, girl?
The mission seems complete, as the untied mammal slowly heads off now, free from the trappings that were proving quite the pain in the neck. Next up, this dolphin is in hot water. Paralysed and woven up in the weeds, on first impression it seems destined to be lost to this cruel habitat. Exactly how anyone can free this distressed animal is apparently, at this point, impossible to predict. Heroically wading into the seaweed to help the caught animal will be a risky business for this man, who, to all appearances, has only got some rudimentary safety kit, a loop of rope tied to a dinghy around his waist. Can he throw Flipper a lifeline to freedom? Incredibly, and now with a miraculous underwater sandy path glimmering in shot, the guided dolphin catches a glimpse out of the cursed reeds. An understated euphoria as the dolphin has escaped this tangled affair and finishes the job off by smoothly starting to swim back to safer waters. Have you ever wondered why elephants aren't king of the jungle? Well, this next clip might help explain that. Not the feel-good Lion King sequel you'd hope for, as an exhausted-looking elephant calf seems bogged down, apparently unable to move. How precisely will this sympathetic man move Junior on from its swampy imposition? The wheels are put into mucky motion, and dragging the now lassoed creature by the trunk is definitely not the solution I was expecting. The Elephant Prince is encouragingly helping to end this sad show as it apparently allows the team to try and pull it loose. Hakuna Matata, one mighty move gets the little big one back on its feet. The circle of life renewed as this successful rescue complete and the elephant trudges home. Some animals can be live wires and other poor creatures just get stuck on them. A young troubled deer has got itself caught up in a sticky situation, having somehow become rooted at a rather unpleasant angle in a wire fence.
Trying to rescue a baby deer. Oh my
His
God.
alarming cries must surely tug at their heartstrings. It may be a good idea for the fiddling men to block out that blaring bawling so they can fully concentrate on this leggy liberation.
How are you going?
The desperate doe is definitely making things worse for himself with his panicked wriggling. Little does he know to trust these men.
Oh my gosh. Yay!
Job's a good 'un, the hushed deer freed. Now, sometimes even human heroes need a helping hand, which is why the next rescuer has turned to God, apparently. I guess this little one really will need a miracle. Sadly, a minuscule kitten is discovered at death's door. But is it too late to bring this mini kitty back to life? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and we'll need to brace ourselves as CPR is delicately performed. I'm not sure it's possible to see a sadder sight. The unresponsive cat will be breaking hearts as it stays in a sleeping beauty type state. But the concerned rescuer is not giving up anytime soon. A moment of mercy as the awakened puss comes to. And with some much welcomed baby steps, a little time and some life-saving nourishment, throwing the whole kit and caboodle at it has been worth it as the little kitty gets back to life.
No matter your life, started with